Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready for the one and only gentleman? Live from Houston, Texas, it's the go-to girl, professional comedian, TV producer, and founder of Marridate.com. It's millionaire matchmaker, Amber.
That's my jam. What's up, guys? Welcome to the Amber Neal Show. I am your host, Amber Neal, Houston's millionaire matchmaker, your go-to girl. And today we are in studio with our brand new set. We're super excited. Welcome in my co-host, DJ Houston.
What? It is a beautiful day in Houston. I am extremely glad to be. Amber, she's gonna beat me today. Guys, I'm a little nervous. I'm over here like jittery around. I keep bumping her. She's like, I swear to God, you do it again. y'all love us. Anyway, I'm just loving this new studio. Besides the fact that I can't give Amber personal space, apparently.
You just can't knock me out with your knee.
Oh, this is those quarterback knees.
They
you know what I'm
missed
saying?
us. We missed it.
I know. I was sitting here like, I was just saying this morning, I was like, God, it's been like 3 weeks since I've been on air with everybody.
Yes.
Like, I know y'all miss this sexiness.
You know what's great about that is that we've been behind the scenes really making moves, really boss it up ourselves. As you guys know, we have taken the show over here to the Boss Up Houston Network, joining forces with Shamir Bacon. Shout out to Shamir. Doing the thing over here. And last week, the network greenlighted 5 brand new shows.
We sure did, man. I have never heard so many good ideas in 1 week.
Did you hear what he said? We sure did. I guess we need to tell him why we did that.
Yeah, exactly, right? So, as everybody knows, Amber is now the president of Boss Up Houston.
Yay.
What's up? Yes. And, along goes with Amber being president, I am now vice president of Boss Up Network and Amber Neal Productions. But wait, we got one more for you. I'm also vice president of Marridate, launching July 1st.
That's right.
And what is Marridate exactly?
Marridate is Houston's first private social club just for couples. We already have some events on the calendar. You can go to the website now and check it out. Marridate, Marridate.com. We are curing the divorce rate one couple at a time. And by June 15th, we will have the whole calendar up for July. And this is a way for you to make friends that are like-minded. We're actually going to do some virtual events next. So keep it locked in. There's always going to be something fly going on. Up to 50 events a month.
50?
Yes.
50.
50.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
50 events.
Just
Y'all guys,
for couples.
We're going to be busy. We're going to be real busy.
But we're super excited. I hope you guys like our new set. We are going to be having a few different sets for the show because, as you guys know, we're going to be welcoming back on Tuesdays our other co-host, Jason Uncut, and he's going to be bringing you the latest celebrity gossip, so that's going to be pretty juicy. And we've got Working Women's Wednesday with Kadori. I love Kadori. She is so funny. And then on Thursdays is probably one of our absolute favorite shows, only because it is going to help you sexy single sofa contestants.
Ooh, yes. And you know what? What's this Thursday? We have, you know what? I'm not even going to tell y'all. I was like, I'm not even going to tell you who we got because you know what? It's a sexy single. So y'all guys have to tune in.
Our last sexy single sofa, what happened to her when she came on?
Oh, yeah, right. So if y'all guys, remember our last one was over at our last place. But we had Miss Shamir Bacon herself sitting on that sexy single sofa.
Yes.
And guess what? She now has a huge rock
on her finger.
It ain't a ring. No, it is a rock.
You can see it from space. That's all.
Legitimately. Like, we were in the car the other day, and I sat there, and I was like, what is that thing blinding me? Go to find out, it was Shamir's ring making the car look like a disco ball.
That's right.
So congratulations, Shamir.
And Sugar Ray Destin Jr. So now to be Sugar. What's going to be like their combo name that we have? I think it's Sugar Bacon. I think hashtag
Sugar Bacon, right?
Sugar Bacon.
Yeah, hashtag like sugar
They
bacon.
should
I like
create
that.
a sugar bacon. I feel like that's a product in itself. You know what I mean?
Oh, and look, they already own the rights to the name. You know what I'm saying? Like,
oh, we almost forgot the coolest part. We have a brand new Matchmaker Hotline phone number.
oh, yes, we do.
It's going to be so awesome. We're going to write it down right now.
Yeah, write it down. So actually, or you can just call in at 281-624-5223.
Okay, the phone lines are open. They're going to be open all week. We're going to go commercial free for the first week or two, just so you guys can get the content. Since some of you guys are new to our show, coming on this brand new network, we're going to give it some time and let you guys actually just listen all the way through, uninterrupted, no commercials. It's a 2-hour show, so stay locked and loaded because we've got some really interesting topics today. Today we're talking about 6 common mistakes that people do while choosing their life partner, and I really cannot stress that enough to you, how who you choose to be with will determine how successful you are in your career.
Oh, this is a fact.
That's just one area.
Right? Because how many times have I said that I've been held back by somebody in my career, all because I was worried about what they thought, about what I was doing, and I'm like, I'm just doing my job.
Exactly.
But instead of doing my job, I was too worried about them, so I just like, I just wouldn't do what I was supposed to do. But it's true. Like, you cannot allow somebody to hold you back like that. It's not fair.
Man, we have got some really good topics for you guys today, too, because, outside of, it's one thing while choosing the life partner, it's another thing keeping the life partner. So we've got some really good things because the next topic in the next segment is 5 things that kill the modern relationship.
Ooh, I'll tell you one right now. Household chores.
Ooh. Considering a fourth of couples divorced over household chores last year, they say that 70% of the things that couples fight about are never resolved. So when you think about household chores being one of them, but that's why we got to talk about the modern relationship, because we're not Betty Homemaker anymore. But in fact, we're expected to still be Betty Homemaker, but also go out, get out the bacon, fry it up in the pan. It used to be the guys would go get the bacon, we'd fry it up in the pan and do the dishes. But now women are saying,
ain't no more, right? Exactly.
We're not just going to do all this and all you have to do is go to work and come home. So we're going to talk about 5 things that kill the modern relationship. But the phone lines are open, guys. Call in and join us. If you have a question about your relationship, if we talk about something that kind of appeals to you or you've been thinking about or something you want to know, that's what this is about. Matchmaking and date coaching can be pricey, quite frankly. So I've started the show with that in mind, is that we want to give people a hotline that you can call in and get free advice. Exactly. And just find out what's going on with you.
Ask those questions. Matter of fact, yesterday I finally went out and did a Sunday fun day. It was, I know for like ever I've been wanting to, but I'm like, DJ Houston, I'm always working, no shame. But what was crazy is I was actually hanging out with some people yesterday, and they were telling me about how they don't understand why they're constantly single.
Yeah.
And was like, they're like, is it my looks? Is it how I act? And I'm like, the beautiful thing about our show is that each day of the week we have a different theme. So, we get to tell people based on that theme what's going on. Like today, we focus on couples. So like if you're a couple, we try to help you stay a couple. Tomorrow, we're going to give you some of that tough love. Wednesdays.
And then some days we're going to tell you how to get rid of a couple.
Right, exactly. And so I was telling them, I was like, tune into our show. I said, honestly, I can tell you just from the 6 months that I've worked with Amber, millionaire matchmaker, she's taught me so much about relationships. I've learned a lot about myself, things that I didn't even know before, about some of the facts that I have trauma, some of the things that I do to run people off, some of the things that people do to run me off, that I never consciously knew that was something that turned me off,
It's so funny you say that, because so many times we think they are the runner, when in reality we are the runner, because we pick someone that we know deep down in our intuition they're not really a threat to ever really commit. So deep down, we are the runner by picking people that we know. If you're really honest with yourself, that ain't going to work out.
Exactly. So, we wanted to give you the Matchmaker Hotline for y'all guys to call us any day of the week that we're on air. Give us a call. If you got questions, you want to know something, whether you're single, you're in a relationship, or even if you just want to know,
Exactly.
I mean, because there's some people who aren't ready, you know, they know they're not ready for a relationship. They're not in a relationship, but they want to know how, when they are ready, what they can do. So, you know, that's something that, you know, I'm very excited to be part of, the Matchmaker Hotline, which, speaking of, we have a YouTube channel coming soon.
Yes, we do.
Called the Matchmaker Hotline.
That's right.
So make sure y'all guys stay tuned for that.
And guess what we're going to be doing on that hotline? We're going to be doing celebrity matchmaking, because people always, and that's the whole point of Sexy Single Sofa, is whether you're, you know, you just want to find love, but you don't know how. A lot of people have heard of a matchmaker, but they never really met a real one. And I'm not talking about the shady people, the dating services that they're not real matchmakers. They're literally trained employees on how to sell. They're closers. They're salespeople. But it's a lot of scam in that. Just like those people that come to town and say, "Hey, spend $5,000 and your kid will be famous." You know, there's a lot. There's a lot of scam in the industry. And my dad told me all you have is your name. So we take all the scam out of meeting people. We do a lot of fun events. We have our next singles event, July 22nd.
I was like, June.
Here at the studio, and it is called
Glow in the Dark Speed Dating.
Yay.
So, you know, we've all heard of speed dating in the dark. Well, we're going to take speeding in the dark and we're going to add a little bit of fun to it.
A little twist.
Exactly. We're going to bring some glow sticks and maybe even some like little glow in the dark paint to splash around on you when you walk through the door. We haven't exactly decided yet, but we're going to make it very fun, you know. Even though you're going to be a little blindish, you're still going to be able to see that vibrant color through whatever we decide to put on your face that day.
It'll make you feel a little bit better, because it's like, you know, when I think of regular speed dating, I think of like when the lights come on in the nightclub at 2 a.m. and you're like, whoa, okay. It's a little bit more comfortable when you're kind of in the dark. So that's going to be our twist to it. Look for details. Tickets are going on sale this week for that. We are doing that with Houston City Beat. Shout out to Lisbeth, who also has her show coming over here too.
She'll be on Tuesdays, as a matter of fact, at 11 a.m. And she says she's talking about my favorite subject.
Me too.
She's going to be talking about food. I mean,
she's our resident foodie. So
yes. So if y'all haven't heard of her, go check her out at Houston City Beat. She's all over social media. She's got some great content too, because not only does she talk about food all the time, which she actually, you know, she goes around to a bunch of local businesses, sees a bunch of local talent, posts some like really cool hidden spots. Yeah. Like yesterday, I saw on her Instagram, she was at some place that was just.
She's doing a margarita tour.
Oh yeah, the margarita tour right now. So, you know, I was like, man, this place is so cute. I was like, I need to tag along with her one day and find all these cute little spots.
And
so,
if you're a creative genius, that's who she interviews.
Right, exactly. Hence, you know, her interviewing us. Also, you know, so she's going to be joining the network. But on top of that, we are also, so as president and vice president of the network, we're looking to create new shows, find people who already have content out there that are trying to become bigger. You know, we're taking the scam out of the business and we're trying to teach people how to do this themselves, how to come up properly. So, you know, if you got any content or anything, y'all guys hit us up. Check us out on our social medias. I'm at DJ Houston 2. She's at The Amber Neal. You can DM us on the network. You can DM us privately. Like, if there's a way to get a hold of us, you can send us that message and we will get back to you. You know, we're looking. So if you got content, let us know, right?
Yeah. You can also go to amberneal.com. Everything that I'm doing is there. And you also can check out all the moves we're making, because we also have a comedy show coming up July 29th. And man, we're super excited about that. So we haven't revealed the lineup on that yet. But as you guys know, I produce my own shows. So this is going to be super raunchy. Everything we can't see on the air, I'm going to bring to the stage. So that's all. Those tickets are probably going to go on sale this week as well. And we're doing that with Houston City Beat as well. That's a lot of information.
I know,
to
right?
catch you guys up on. We didn't start the show yet. We're just trying to catch up on everything we've had going on. But man, I'm excited.
I was like, I feel like we're missing something. I feel like there's an event we're missing or something.
I feel like it, but
you know, there's I'm sure there is too.
We've got a networking event with Boss Up. I think it's June 27th. Don't quote me on that. It's at the end of the month.
Right. We'll post. Our calendars will be live very shortly. You know, we're working on that too. As you guys can imagine, coming to the new network, it's been so exciting. You know, we're so excited. We are so blessed and so grateful to be here.
Yes, we are.
It's been such a great transition, but it's also been such a workload too. And we're trying to bring, trying to get the show ready and everything. So we're excited to be back. But you know what?
Let's jump in.
Let's jump in. Let's bring the show back. Let's do it.
And
so
the phone lines are open, guys.
Exactly. 281-624-5223. Give us a call. And I think today's topic, we're going to do 6 common mistakes people do while choosing a life partner.
God, that's so freaking important. I wrote a book back in 2015. If you want a copy of it, let me know, called How My Kitty Betrayed Me. The thing that's different between me and other matchmakers is I'm very open about what made me such a good matchmaker. It wasn't because I had the perfect marriage. It was because I've been there, done that, got the hat, came from a long line of generational curses, came from situations I had to overcome. My mom, even though she was a matchmaker, married all her friends to their husbands and never had a divorce, my mom wound up getting divorced. I wound up getting divorced. So it's really one of those things where now that my daughter's married, we don't want her to get a divorce. So I really had to understand that self-love is the best love that leads to the healthy love. I understand that sometimes when you grew up with, for example, like me, my mom, who's an orphan, didn't have a mom, wasn't even adopted until she was 13, you can't teach what you don't know. And so many times it's okay to be in a place where you have to reparent yourself. I'm good at matchmaking because I've been through it all. I've been through every situation. I've been through the divorce. I became the player. I became what I hated the most. But that will haunt you because when you do meet somebody honest, you question it every time because now you become a victim of your own player thoughts, right? And we judge others how we see ourselves. So the bad thing about becoming like the person that hurt you is now you are judging people and from a player standpoint, and it's a catch-22. You can't win that way.
You really can't. Now, as much as you try. We all know, I've been married, I've been divorced.
Mm-hmm.
I thought, to tell you, number one right here, it says some people believe that everything will be all right after we get married. Actually, it's a wrong assumption. And I can tell you this to be 100% honest. I was with my ex-husband for 2.5, almost 3 years prior to getting married. And closer to marriage, it was starting, like the relationship was going down the drain. I knew it was. He was becoming emotionally abusive. And I was like, you know what? We're going to get married. Once we get married and this ring gets put on my finger, things are going to get better. He's going to change. He's going to respect me more. And you know what? What did change? I'll tell you exactly what changed. My dignity and the respect I had for myself.
That part.
He took it all away from me. The second that ring got put on my finger, I was a piece of property to him.
That's right.
I was his. So it doesn't get better after you get married. If it's bad when you start, it's going to be bad to the end.
And that's why our number one piece of advice today is that some people believe that everything will get better after you get married. And actually, it's the wrong assumption. If it's not good now, it never will be. People give you their best in the beginning. It's only going to go downhill from there. Even if they treat you great, it's all flowers and glitter. But the thing is, what you did in the beginning is what you have to do to maintain it through the relationship. Now, I've been a matchmaker 16 years, and I can honestly tell you I've never had one single client ever get divorced as well. And that's kind of my claim to fame as a matchmaker, is people don't understand matchmaking. They think it's just like this little cookie cutter thing you do or whatever, but I'm a real matchmaker. It is a gift of empathy. I can feel it, a vibe, but I've never had a single divorce client. So I'm telling you now up front, what they do in the beginning is what they're going to do, and it's only going to get worse. So if they're abusing you before you get married, I cannot tell you how many people I have talked to that have said the abuse was already there before they even got married. And then it wound up, so and the point is the red flags that you tolerate in the beginning will be the same reason that you're getting divorced in the end. So that's number one. Number two, I love number two. This is super interesting.
All right, so what's number two?
Some people think it is enough that love is enough. As long as we're in love, they believe marriage is only a matter of two people. As long as they love each other, they can overcome difficulties and tolerate the faults of each other. It's not true. I know I have personally told an ex, I see why love is not enough. Because if they don't meet you at your love language, if you need to be touched and they ignore you, if your love language is acts of service, if your love language is quality time, but they don't make time for you, they don't touch you, or even now, go to 5lovelanguages.com. You can also test to see what your apology languages are and your anger languages, which you really need to know, because if they don't apologize the right way, then you're going to be like deaf ears.
You're going to become angry.
That's
if
right.
they don't apologize the correct way, you're going to become angry.
But love is not enough. It's really not, because you will always love that person, but you need to prepare in a real marriage. You're not always going to like that person. But the reality of it is once you are married, the problem with marriage today, in my opinion, is that people go into it with this mentality of, oh, I'll just get a divorce.
Right? I mean, right off the bat, the first thing they say is, oh, if it doesn't work, I can just get a divorce. Aren't you supposed to make it work before you get married? I mean, isn't that the purpose of getting married, is because it works?
The problem
I don't understand.
Because people are thirsty and they rush and they don't really take time to really make sure this is the one. But here, let me tell you something about that. Let me qualify this. There's no such thing as time when it comes to connection and relationships. One of the biggest questions I've been asked my whole career is, how long should I wait before we get married? Okay, now my answer is going to depend on if you have kids or not. If there's kids in it, it's going to be a little bit longer process usually. But but what I'm trying to say is, when the connection is in the spirit, trust me, that's why love at first sight exists. I believe in it, because I believe when people see somebody and they have one conversation with them and they get to know, you know by what people say if they're healed or unhealed, first of all.
Correct.
You know.
You know, and the thing is I know people believe that the longer that they're together, the more, you know, that's, you're supposed to get married. But you know, it really isn't about time, because in reality, we have perfect proof.
Yeah.
I mean, look at Shamir Bacon. We got her on our sexy single sofa. 3 weeks later, they were engaged.
Yes.
Next month, they are literally tying the knot next month. So, you know, it's because when you know. When it's there, it's there. There's nothing about time.
Because it's the spirit.
Exactly.
That's the connection I'm trying to get y'all to understand. When things are done out of the ego or the flesh, lust and love look a lot alike. Okay? But when you're talking about love, you're talking about sacrifice. When you're talking about lust, it's all about me. I'm not sacrificing nothing. I'm not even driving across town to see your ass. You know what I'm saying? So it really is important that you understand that love, you can't love each other through some of the faults. If they're a chronic cheater, if they're abusing you, if they won't hold a job, if they're like extremely to a point that they keep their family all up in your business. But the thing is, and here's the epiphany I had when I went on my vacation last week, or whatever that was.
I was like, last week? Where was I for this vacation?
In my imagination. You know, I came to the realization, you know, God came to me and said, basically, you want to cure the divorce rate. But isn't it true? This is deep, okay? Isn't it true that even you, as much as you want to provide solutions for marriage, isn't it true that you have also been guilty of the same mentality? I'll just get a divorce if it don't work out. Ooh,
I mean,
that's deep.
That is deep. And honestly, I can say I've been there too. Like,
We all have been.
I mean, hello, that's why I'm divorced. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I got married because I was like, worst case scenario, if it doesn't work out. I mean, okay, I guess I got a little lucky, because when I say I got divorced, I did want a divorce, but I got lucky that the state of New York annulled my marriage.
Oh, it did?
Yes, so I got lucky. Wow. I didn't really technically have to get a divorce.
Oh.
They did it for me, but it was, but I still feel like, you know, I mean, it was still a cop-out. You know, I wanted a divorce anyway. Like, I wasn't going to stay with somebody who's going to treat me like that. So it's one of those things where I guess today I kind of almost say the same thing, like worst case scenario if it doesn't work out, but I also don't want to get married either unless I know it's the right person now.
Wait until, and just full disclosure, that's one thing about me, guys, I think you're going to find refreshing, and DJ Houston, is that we're an open book. We put it all out there. I don't pretend to have it all figured out. I just know I have a hell of a gift of discernment, and I can help people find their soulmate. That don't mean I can do it for me. That means I can do it for everybody else. You know what I'm saying? Those who can't, we coach.
You know, and honestly, like I just try to let everybody know my experiences that I've had, because you know I really want to save y'all from making those same stupid mistakes that I've made, because I've made some stupid mistakes in my life. But you know what? I've learned. I'm almost 30 now, and I've gotten to the point where I've seen all the mistakes I've made. I've seen all of the bad stuff going on, and I'm not going to keep making those mistakes anymore. You know,
you brought up a point too. You're almost 30, and you know my daughter got married at I want to say 21 or something. I had my daughter at 21, and the reality of it is that the problem with young marriages is that as long as neither one of you give up who you wanted to be in your dreams and your career and your what you dream about, then it usually can work. But I have to caution you, because if one of you gives up your dream that young, there's going to be resentment that can creep in if it doesn't work out. So you got to take time and really get to know people a little bit when you're that young, because you're still learning who you are. Like you said, almost 30. By the time you actually get to 30 and to 40, every 10 years you become a different person.
Yeah,
Aren't you different than you were?
Oh man, I am different than I was 3 years ago.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So, and that's why I love sharing and being completely honest with everybody. Like sometimes I say some things that really embarrass the crap out of me. But
too.
I want to be honest because I want everybody to know that I'm human. I make mistakes. I've made these exact mistakes before, but each year, and this is why I say I don't have regrets. I have mistakes because I learn from my mistakes. I look back at it, and as soon as I notice the pattern, because I'm not going to say that I don't make mistakes again, but what I do want to say is that as soon as I notice that I'm making that same exact mistake, I turn around and I'm like, no, not today, Satan.
What's that meme you sent me? And it was talking about like after you get older and you start realizing the pattern. You start realizing it.
Once you see the pattern, I'm out of here. Exactly. You know, and that's why I always say I don't regret anything. I really don't have any regrets. I have made a lot of mistakes, but I've learned from every single one of those mistakes. It's actually what's made me so intelligent now.
That's right.
I have a lot of knowledge now that I love to share with people, you know, which is why I love being on this show, because I get to tell everybody all the pain that I've gone through. And look at me, I still get to wear a smile on my face.
One of the things that has really been in my heart lately to talk about is how one of the biggest struggles most people deal with is overcoming their emotions. Because, you know, the enemy wants you to focus on the emotion, and God wants you to focus on Him. And the reality of that is that that's why it says not to judge. It's not about the literal part. Yeah, we're not supposed to judge, but the problem is when you judge somebody, you do get stuck in the emotion of the judgment, and it keeps you trapped. We've got to learn how to observe things and you know, but not really absorb it, because once you realize hurt people, and you start putting people in a category of healed and broken, stop taking things so freaking personal. So I've got to really stress that you should not be making a decision when you're emotional, right?
I know that, and this is absolutely 100% truth, you know, because when you make something on emotion, a lot of times you regret the decision you made. For example, anger. Anger is one of our biggest emotions. A lot of people react out of anger, you know, and as soon as they say what they say out of anger, they're like, oh my gosh, I regret saying that. You know, I didn't mean to say that.
I didn't mean it.
And that's why, and I'm one of those people. I'm still, almost, like I said, almost 30 years old, and I'm still learning that sometimes my emotions speak for me, and I can't allow that. I do get a little too emotional sometimes, you know. Just recently, somebody was, you know, said I hurt their feelings some way, somehow, and it actually made me I hurt my own feelings by being told I hurt somebody's feelings. And instead of thinking clearly at the moment, I was thinking about, oh, how can I fix and mend this person, when I was like, I really shouldn't, because I had nothing to apologize for, you know. But it was just those emotions speaking, saying, you got to feel emotional about it too, and you got to think. You have to think before you react. You cannot let your emotions take over. And it comes the same way with a relationship, because you may get into this relationship because y'all are vibing hard and the sex is great. Exactly. And you know, lust is an emotion though. So, you know, those hormones are going, and you're like, oh, we're having so much fun, fooling around, seeing each other, friends with benefits. But then you try to get into a relationship and you're like almost instantly regret it.
Because it requires sacrifice.
Exactly.
It requires being selfless, not selfish.
Exactly. And then, you know, half the time you're like, I'm not even interested in this person. I was just interested in their body or interested in them at the moment.
We got to be careful with emotions, because especially what you said, one of the biggest things that I saw, it caused somebody close to me their marriage. She would literally say, she would light his ass up when they're fighting and call him everything under the sun but a man of God, and just the mouth. The Bible says a nagging woman will push a man to the corner of the rooftop. So nagging him is not the way to get him. You know what I'm saying? But the problem that this girl had was she would tell, when she was fighting with her man, she would say, after they make up, she'd go, you know I didn't mean it. So if I sit here and tear you down, and then come back and say,
Woo.
but you know I didn't mean
You're
it.
talking to 20-year-old Jacob right there.
Exactly.
That was
How
me.
long would it last?
It won't. It really won't.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how many times I've been dumped because I was that exact person. I would rip you a new hole, and then right after ripping you a new hole, hey baby, come cuddle with me.
Gosh, no,
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's not gonna work.
Yeah, exactly. Most of the time, it's like, I don't know why you think I'm over it, but you just got done chewing me a butt, and I'm not about to sit here and take that from you. So, yeah, that's.
Want to be careful with that. You know what I mean? Because when commitments are made only on the basis of an emotional impulse, the result is regret ahead. Like you said, you instantly regret it.
Instantly. It's, seriously, it's almost an instant regret. Unless you're intoxicated, and then it's the next morning that you regret it.
And also thinking that relationships are going to be super exciting all the time.
Yeah.
Or there's like super happiness or whatever. But the word you're looking for is joy. That's what you're looking for. If you are basing things on being happy, you're going to be disappointed in life. It's about finding joy within yourself first. Your happiness is nothing external. If you think that car, that job, that boyfriend, that relationship I'm finally going to feel whole, I'll be happy when I get that.
Right.
You're never going to be happy.
Never.
You got to have joy and refuse to be around people that steal your joy.
Love does not come from material items.
Mm-hmm. One of the things too is, you heard of yin and yang.
Of course.
They say opposites attract, but the studies show they don't always stay together. And that, to me, I have found that boils down specifically to common interest. If you like, I'll give myself an example. When I got married to my husband, I had a kid at 21 and a kid at 24. And I was young, and I didn't really know the questions to ask. Like I said, my mom had gotten divorced too, so I didn't really know what I was doing. And he played softball 5 days a week. And I was kind of like, okay, so of course at first I'm trying to be the supportive girlfriend.
Right.
And then the supportive wife and the supportive mama of your kids. And then 5 years later, I'm like, dude, can we do something else? All we do is freaking go to the softball park. He looked me dead in my face and said, you knew that about me when you met me. He's right. I did. But that's why back then, when I was unhealed from all the things I went through in my life, I didn't understand my worth. I didn't understand that you get scared to make somebody mad. You don't want to, you feel like they're going to leave. And that's where I had my abandonment issues, that I had to heal from that. But the thing is, be true to yourself. Because at the end of the day, we wind up getting divorced after 10 years because, one, we didn't have the common interest. So the yin and yang is the next advice. Today we're talking about things that really can alter your decision making when you choose the wrong partner for you. And one of the things we recommend is to choose a partner who has a little bit different way of communicating with yourself. I don't like people that agree with everything I say.
I don't need
people
a
that are yes man. Like, because if the communication style is the same, then no one would actually really be able to communicate or get a different perspective.
Yeah, and
I mean?
like, I'm also kind of the same way with like love languages too, because I'm like, I don't want somebody with the same love language as me, because I like to give my time and cook and clean,
Acts of service.
Exactly. I like to give acts of service, but it doesn't mean I like to receive acts of service, so I don't want somebody who, plus if we're both constantly doing the same exact thing for our love languages, then, like, where's the spice? Where's the flavor? I
think it's good. I think opposites can attract and stay together as long as it's not based on common interests. I think I cannot stress that enough. Like, especially entrepreneur life, that's another whole beast in itself. It almost takes somebody you don't have to be an entrepreneur, but you got to have respect for the struggle that they're trying to go through. And the worst thing you can do if your man or your woman is an entrepreneur is ask them when they're going to get a real job.
Oof.
when you don't support your partner, that is the kiss of death.
If someone
in a
ever told me
relationship.
that, if someone ever told me
I've had
that,
family ask me that.
they would be out of my life so fast.
And if somebody tries to compete with you, it's really crazy, because I think that's one of the, I say it like this. People are like, why are you a single matchmaker? And I say, because the thing they love about me in the beginning is the thing they hate about me in the end. You see what I'm saying? And people think, oh, I can be with an entertainer, but I'm an entertainer also on top of that. So it's hard, because we're always asking the question, should an entertainer be an entertainer or not? But I'm just saying, is get with somebody who doesn't compete with you.
Get somebody that grows with you, that lifts you up. That
Yes.
hype. Get a hype man.
I'm serious. Like
Yeah.
that's what I did love about J-Lo and A-Rod when they were together, is every time you saw them on the red carpet, he's like, shh, 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 shh. He seemed like he was her biggest fan. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But now that we're finding out he needs some money, you know.
Well, I mean, so technically he was still her biggest fan. He just wanted to get paid
He
for
was
it.
her biggest loan applicant. That's what he was. We're kidding. But, you know, find somebody that is your biggest fan, because I think that, to me, has probably been one of the most hurtful things I've experienced, is that if I win an award or I have an event or I have some kind of accomplishment, you don't clap for me, you don't support, you don't want to know, you don't attend. That's very hurtful. That's why common interests have to be there to a point. If you're somebody who's super in the public eye and you're trying to be with somebody who don't want to be in the public eye at all, it's going to cause challenges. So everything is negotiable in the relationships. And as we talked about before, if you can get through those 3 stages, the infatuation is actually a good phase, because the infatuation, when there is a lot of lust, that is what bonds you to when you get to the next phase with the negotiations. Negotiations is where most couples fall apart. Most couples can't get through the negotiation phase.
Right.
But if you can, that's when you go down to the negotiations, the last phase. The second phase is disillusionment. That's when I find out, oh, you're not as perfect as I thought you were. You know, that's where most couples fall apart, is that when they get disillusioned with who their Prince Charming is.
Exactly.
Really,
you're not the guy that I fell in love with.
No.
You're not the guy I fell in love with.
You feel like a fan. You fell in love with a fantasy.
Exactly.
And we have some brand new shirts y'all can order called "No More Build-A-Boo," because people are falling in love with potential instead of actually what's in front of them.
Exactly. You know, or. Yeah, like you said, potential. I was gonna say, or might be. But that's exactly. Yeah, exactly. You know,
knowing your worth. If you know your worth, you're not gonna be signing up for a Build-A-Boo project. If you got your life together, why would you want to build someone else's life?
Right. And okay, so you know, and this is exactly what I was explaining to my friend yesterday, who was sitting here saying, like, you know, he can't understand why he's single. And I was like, I think one of the biggest reasons you're single is because you go for people who aren't on your level yet. Your people, they want to be on your level, but they're not there, and so you're having
Build-A-Boo.
Exactly. I was like, and you know, I didn't want to tell him he was trying to build a boo because I didn't want to. But I was like, you know, you're literally like, you need to find somebody who's on your level already.
Yeah.
Not there, you know. And
or
I was
past your level. They can help you out.
Right. Exactly. You know, but
if you feel like you're by yourself all the time,
then you need to, you know, exactly be by yourself. There's no reason. I hate when people sit here and say that they have to stay in a relationship even though they feel lonely.
For what?
And I'm like, but why? If you're alone all the time, do you know how many times my friends call me or text me saying, I'm so lonely? And I'm like, aren't you married? I'm sorry, aren't you married? And they're like, well, yeah, but my husband's not here. And, you know, and I'm kind of like, I'm feeling a little hot and bothered. And I'm just like, so if you're constantly lonely and bored, why are you in this relationship? I don't get it. Like, it constantly happens. It's one of those, like, it's ridiculous. So the way I see it is, if I start getting bored, or if I start even having fantasies of going to other people, I get out of the relationship, because I'm like, obviously I'm not in a relationship that's making me happy, you know? So why stick around? Why play games? Why do people stay in relationships that they know they're not happy in? Why do they cheat?
Because of the next tip we're going to give you, is that the most impossible thing to change is an adult. So many people go into relationships thinking, I'll change them. Ladies, listen to me, and listen to me good, okay? Because y'all are the worst. Listen. Y'all listen? Listen, Linda. Listen. The reality is the only thing a man will change for, it ain't gonna be I don't care if you're his wife. I don't care if you have his kids. It doesn't matter. I don't care if you have a business together. The only thing a man will change for is a man that wants to change.
True.
There's nothing
Yeah,
that's going to keep him.
And it's not
going
to be changing because, you know, somebody told him to. He has to change because he wants to change himself.
Exactly.
You know, it has to be his idea. Yeah. It has to be his willpower to do it. You know, you can't, it's just like when you go through a weight loss journey. You can't lose that weight because somebody else wants you to.
That's right.
You have to do it because you want to do it, or else you're never going to lose that weight. And it's the same exact thing with a relationship, you know? So, or anything in life. You can't you can't teach an old dog new tricks unless that dog wants to learn the trick. And that dog never usually wants to learn the trick.
You know, considering that like 80% of your personality is formed by the time you're 5, to think that you can get an adult that's been through hardship, God knows what they've been through in their life, and you think
by
you can
5?
change them?
So you mean I've been a jerk since I was 5?
Mm-hmm.
I was going to say the other word, but I was like, wait, never mind.
Much.
Yeah, so I've been a jerk since I was 5 years old, guys. Didn't know.
But you know, you can't change to be if you feel like you're on eggshells with somebody, or you feel like you're always like, I have to do this, or you know, pick me. Listen, that's so out of order, ladies. That's so out of order. Oh. Trust me. Shamir and Shug just got married, engaged after 3 weeks, because trust me, when a man knows, there will be no confusion around it. And for you're sitting there, I'm calling him, he ain't calling you, go get the book. He's just not that into you. Matter of fact, I recommend another book, Why Men Love Bitches. That's what y'all really need to read. Because while you're over here delivering coochie to all these men, you might as well put a sign on your friggin' car that says, I deliver, okay?
Whoa, woo! Look, my body temp just went up a couple degrees. I'm ready to start sweating. Like, look at her getting me all.
But to have that mentality that surely they'll change for you, or I'll change enough they'll pick me. Listen, you shouldn't be dating, honestly.
Do you know what category that falls under?
Unhealed.
Unhealed and build-a-boo.
Build-a-boo.
Because if you're trying to, because if you think you could, if you're having to fix them, you're building a boo.
That's right.
You know, and what do we say? No more build-a-boos. If I have to stand on top of the building over here and yell it for you, I will. I'll take the camera with me and I'll yell it for all of y'all because I want everyone in the back of the city to hear it. No more build-a-boos, man. People aren't going to change. You can't change them. I can't change them. Clearly, they're not going to change. Clearly. So stop trying to do it. Just go ahead and find you somebody who is healed and who's ready to take you for who you are. And you know what? This is one thing that I got to say. I hate when people say that there's nobody out there for them. They can't find them. You're just looking in the wrong pot. That's it.
My mom said that from day one. She's like, where are you going to meet people?
You're just looking in the wrong pot. You know? Hell, they may not even be in your city. You know what I'm saying? Like, instead of trying to force it and rush it, take it natural.
It's so interesting you say that because as Houstonians specifically, one of the biggest challenges for Houstonians to meet each other is that they feel like they're geographically undesirable. Houston is now the 3rd largest city in the country, the fastest growing city 6 years running, according to the U-Haul trending report. And what's great about that is we have the best food, best cost of living, the schools. I mean, everything is amazing here, right? But the thing is that you can drive an hour across town and still be in Houston. So Houstonians, like most major cities, are very close-minded to meeting people that are not in their zip codes, like a little 5-mile radius. You know, especially you guys that are doing online dating. It's like no more than 10 miles.
Not even. If I see more than 3 miles, I'm like, sorry, honey, there's somebody across the street. I'm not joking. Because goodness gracious, just to go 3 miles in Houston can take me 30 minutes. You know what I'm saying?
But I will challenge you guys. Listen, if there's chemistry, somebody will move. It will change. Please don't let distance be the reason why you're still single.
Plus, and something else, you know, that I want to say of not letting this be, you said distant. Anyway, don't let this be a downfall for you either. Look past your type. Okay?
Amen.
A lot of people pass up on the love of their life and stay single for the rest of their life because they're only looking at looks. Oh, they don't match my look. They're not the kind of type that I like. You know, oh, he's too short or he's too tall or he doesn't have the job that I want. You know, stop looking past that because you are going to pass up on your true love. You know, you have no idea what your soulmate looks like. There's only one person, not even a person, there's only one entity that knows what your soulmate looks like, and that's God.
And when you check out the show on Thursdays, when you watch a Sexy Single Sofa, you'll see through live matchmaking, you'll see I will correct them on the spot. Okay, that's not important. Exactly. As long as the inches are in the right place, there's a step stool with its name on it.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously.
There really is.
People don't care. I mean, I'm telling y'all, and I understand you may feel subconscious if you're a super tall woman or you're overweight or you feel like I'm not attractive by society standards. But listen, there's a lid for every pot. There is somebody for someone out there for you everywhere. But what I'm really tired of is you being a 3 and demanding a 10. But that's another whole show.
I'm the prize, but you, honey, you're not even the Cracker Jack prize, okay?
Okay, I'm a matchmaker, not a magician. So become more self-aware of what you're working with, because there's actually a study that I saw recently that subconsciously we pick people that are equal in looks. Does that make sense?
Okay, yeah, so if I think I'm a 10, I'm going to go for a 10.
Right.
Yeah.
That's why you see people that are 10s would never go under a 10 because they don't have to.
Yeah.
But that goes into our next point, because my question for you is when people start having relationship problems is, what did you bond over? What do you base in the relationship? Did y'all bond over an 8-ball? Well, then y'all are never going to be sober enough to have a relationship. Did you bond over money? Well, if the money falls apart, then there goes the relationship.
Did you bond over hating? You know?
Yes.
Did you bond over hating your ex? Because I know so many people who've gotten together with their ex's ex because they hated their ex.
And that's another thing, too. I do want to tell y'all that studies show that whatever you bond over will be a huge indication if it's going to work. For example, if Jacob and I were having an affair and, if we were having an affair and we bonded over how much we hate our spouses, our bond is going to be diminished as soon as the divorce is over, usually, because you can't, whatever you bond over is what's going to usually win or cause you to win or lose.
I mean, in reality, if you start a relationship cheating, it's never going to, that's never going to end right.
Now you are number 2. Okay, now you're number 1. But trust and believe.
There's another number 2.
There's another number
There's
2.
probably a number 3 too.
There's always a number 3.
So so that way when number 1 gets demoted, number 2 can move up and number 3 can move up.
If there's a number 2, there's a number 3, 4, and 5.
And there really is. What's a cheater? Like if you start a relationship cheating, it's not going to work out because they're going to more than likely cheat on you.
Yeah. But this is the whole point of us doing speed dating in the dark on July 22nd. Is because most people choose a life partner based on money and looks rather than inner qualities. The original theme behind that whole starting was wearing a mask. With ours, we're not going to do it where you wear a mask because I believe visceral connection is important. You want to engage. That's why I think going to events are a really great way to meet people when you're single. You want to engage all your senses because it could be the way they smell. It could be something like, maybe that's not even like a bad smell per se, but you don't like it, right? And our pheromones are what really teach us, it's like a hardwire, it's biology in us. The pheromones are we're sniffing out to see immune system. And even in LGBTQ couples, it's the same thing. We still pick for procreation even when it's not possible.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
It's crazy.
So all we're saying, guys, is if you think that material conditions are the basis of love, which is totally wrong, that when 2 people have a lasting relationship, it really has 100% to do with the inner qualities. So all you power couples that want to have something for the gram or the fake book, and you want to have that fakeness going on, your relationship is fake as the book, okay? So at the end of the day, if you're a power couple based on anything that's not internal, when one of those things change, your relationship will fall apart, guaranteed.
This is facts. I mean, there's no other way of saying this. You can't deny it because it is facts. I mean, I've seen so many relationships fall apart because of this exact thing. Other than that, how else am I going to know? Some of my relationships have fallen apart because of the same thing. I've dated some guys who've cheated on their spouse with me before, you know? I mean, I was that side chick at one point. You know what I'm saying? So I know from experience, and that's why I know I won't do it again. Because
Karma's a big old bitch, and she remembers. And the reality of the thing is you might think you're getting away with it for now. It might jump over you and skip a family member, your kids, or somebody like that. I've seen it all. Live your life clean. Keep your side of the street clean. Do what's right for you. Be a good person. There are 7 billion people on this freaking planet. Jesus did not send you someone else's husband, lady, okay? Today we're talking about common mistakes that people make when they're choosing the right partner, because it's so interesting, because relationships should be a happy place. You know, there's going to be happiness shared every day. There's going to be hard times. There's going to be sadness. And fighting is okay, but it's not the fighting, it's how you fight. Are you staying in respect? Like, guys, you are to affirm her with love, not anger. And ladies, you are to affirm him with respect. That's one of the things, men, I don't care straight or gay, men need to be appreciated. If you want to lose a man quick,
don't appreciate
him.
Yeah, you know how many times I've walked out on somebody just because I told them twice, I don't feel appreciated. You're not, you know, like, it's not even the fact that I need a thank you. It's the fact that I just want you to value what I'm doing for you. You know, like, it's not even, oh my God, thank you so much for doing this. It's more like, oh, hey, you know, like, just saying, oh, this looks good.
Yeah.
That's all the acknowledgement I need, just to know, because if you don't show that appreciation of everything that I do of bringing home that bacon.
And especially somebody whose love language you like acts of service, to go back and do something nice for him to show him that you appreciate. It's not always words. Sometimes it's your actions that go back and do something nice for you.
Yeah.
But when you feel like it's one-sided and you're the only one ever put in the work, it's going to fall apart.
Exactly. Because, you know, it puts too much strain on one side. As I've always said, relationships should be 50-50, you know? And if I'm doing 75 and you're barely scraping 25, why am I going to stick around? I'm practically carrying you on my back. And as I've said, I don't carry anybody in this world. You know, I've brought myself up. I've carried my own baggage my whole life, so I don't need to carry somebody else's baggage on top of mine. So if you're willing to put both of our bags together and we both grab a strap, hey, I'm down for that. But I will not be the one grabbing all 4 straps.
Exactly.
I will drop 2 straps in a heartbeat.
You know, love matters, but just remember that love depends on different factors in life. Understanding, you know, like Escape said it best, what I need from you is understanding. Because if communication dies, the relationship is dead. Without understanding, that's why we say love's not enough. You can love the person all day, but if you can't get to an understanding of and feel heard of what you need and they feel what they need, I think the worst torture in a relationship is to not feel heard, not feel understood.
Yeah.
I mean, you got enough people in the world that don't want you to win. They want to misunderstand on purpose. But you got to understand that your behavior, your communication, and many other things go into what makes a relationship work. It's not just love.
Exactly. You know, it's the splitting the chores.
Yeah.
It's the, you know, communication. It's the compromise. It's all of that. Every single one of those little things go into a relationship.
That's right, guys.
So, you know, guys, if you guys have any questions for us, our lines are open. I sure did.
I was just about to say.
Listen, we did the same thing when we were talking about our promo video.
Yes.
Remember, we're just great minds think alike. So we want to hear from y'all. Questions, comments, concerns. Give us a call. 281-624-5223.
All right, guys. And lastly, we have a question from writing in, what are inner qualities? That's a good question.
Oh, that really is a good question.
I like that.
You know what? I want to hear what you think inner qualities are, and then I'll elaborate on that a little bit more too, because I feel I'm not the expert here, so I'm gonna let the expert go first, so that way, you know, y'all don't think I don't know anything.
Some of them are whether or not they know how to love. Again, we've talked about this before. Sometimes, if all you've ever experienced is toxic, you're gonna feel like if they're not fighting with you, they're not starting fights. If you haven't healed and you have those worth issues, you're constantly going to start fights in your relationship to try to get them to prove how they feel about you.
You know what? The perfect example here. Yes, I have to. Yes, now that we get to sit so close to each other, I get to touch you. You're good. You are. But no. No. So one of the funny things is I actually used to have a friend who used to tell me that they did not want a relationship where they didn't fight. because they said the relationship was too boring if there were no fights. And I was like, somebody needs to heal. Wow. You got some trauma in your life because I don't have time for drama. Yeah. I don't want to fight. Why would I want to fight when I could be using that time to cuddle?
Listen, guys, if you have any dream in your heart, anything you want to do, you have to stop being distracted. That's the main thing. If when people want to fight with you or people don't want to understand, if people will find a problem when there's not a problem if they're seeking a problem. If you don't feel understood, that is one of the biggest things is we got to put ourselves in their shoes. If you're not, dude, I'm telling you, being self-aware is one of the biggest things you got to make a relationship work. If you're not self-aware enough to even know that you're not being understanding, I can never reach you to tell you you're not understanding. Yeah, you're not self-aware enough to know that you're
exactly. Not. I used to not be self-aware, and then I started realizing there were things that I was doing, and now I don't even try to argue or explain to somebody anymore that who's not self-aware, because you can talk to them and explain to them as many times as you want till you're blue in the face. Seriously. That what they're doing is not correct, but because they see it in their reality, in their fantasy, they're doing nothing wrong. So I don't even go down that road anymore. I don't even try to explain it to people because, like I said, it's a waste of your breath. They have to be self-aware because it's all about change. They have to be ready to change.
Yeah, self-aware is the first part. The next part of it, though, is when you only get so many hours in a day, okay? But the main thing is that when you understand that you have to be in an attitude of gratitude to manifest positive things, if you have somebody that's constantly discouraging you, keeping you sad, keeping you depressed, keeping you confused, keeping you in doubt, is taking away the energy that you need to manifest those positive things. You got to be very, very, very conscious of how the enemy works to steal your joy. And as long as he can keep you distracted, you'll never reach your destiny. You'll never find the right relationship. And while you're busy holding on to the wrong relationship because of your worth issues, you're not free to open up into a new relationship where you actually can find real love.
Exactly. Because you start getting traumatized and that's all you think about. So then you start, it's just like, I know this is a drastic example, but it's just like somebody who's been in an abusive relationship.
Exactly.
Anytime going forward, now they think that all men are going to be abusive, and naturally, so if somebody just trying to they might flinch because naturally their self-defense mechanisms are like, everybody's evil now, and it happens the same way with any type of relationship, with anything that they do. You become traumatized.
But that's the trap, okay? Because whatever you think of it like this, the universe does not know what you want. It only knows what you think about. So if your truth, that's where you got to get down to, what is my truth on my inner qualities? What is my truth? If my truth is that all men are cheaters, all men are liars, all men are this or that or whatever, or women, whoever it is, if that's your truth, understand that that is a fear-based energy. You are operating out of lack, and all you are admitting to the universe is that everybody is a piece of crap, basically. Yeah. So I expect to get another piece of crap, because my truth is everybody is. But until you change that narrative in your brain to say, I'm not a piece of crap, there's somebody out there like me. There's a lid for every pot.
This is straight facts, because before I thought I was a piece of crap, and that's what I was attracting. All my boyfriends were crazy, jerks. And now, I know my self-worth. I'm more positive about myself. That's what I attract, Everybody that I've been talking to recently, like that's the energy that they give me. They're positive people. They're people that are in my lane, think the way that I think. So, she's not lying. It's how, if you change the narrative, you get something different. The energy you put out is the same exact energy you put back in. So if every day you go out and you decide to put a smile on your face and you decide to do good to everybody, not saying that every now and then the devil ain't going to try to put you down, but as long as you go out there and do that, that's the energy you're going to get back. But if you go out there every day and, everything's wrong, my life sucks, this is over, then that's all you're ever going to get, every day. I'm just going to be miserable all the time, and that's all the energies that's going to come back.
Yep.
Every person that you meet is going to be in that same exact boat. They're going to be a complainer just like you are. They're going to be a negative Nancy. The person you're going to try to be in a relationship with is going to be the same exact thing. And nobody needs two. I know they say two negatives make a positive, but it does not.
No,
okay, it does not. You don't need two negatives. You need at least one positive in there, or else you're going to drown.
The thing about fear, a friend of mine said this to me. He said, fear is false evidence appearing real. You heard that before?
Yeah.
False evidence. I was just talking to one of my friends about this yesterday. False evidence. Focus on that. False evidence. It's not real. What does the enemy do? He's the biggest freaking liar on the planet.
Yeah.
And if he can capture your mind, everything else is done. If he can keep you in fear, if he can keep you in doubt.
I'm so glad you said that, because I was going to say, what's the other word for this? Fear. You know, that's
what fear stands for.
That's exactly what fear is. So, and that's how people control
It's not
you.
real, guys.
It's not.
90% of the things we fear never happen.
Exactly. That's why, I mean, it's just your mind going crazy. You know, it's making assumptions it shouldn't make.
What if this happens? What if this happens?
Exactly.
When people say, oh, what if this happens? People come to me and they're like, oh, I don't know if I should join this or do this or whatever. Okay, well, the time's going to go by anyway. I don't understand why. God didn't have to make you, first of all. So obviously, God thought out of everything in this galaxy that the world needed one of you. You got to get, our point is until you heal your self-love issues, real love has probably knocked at your door already. More than likely, you blew it.
Yeah.
And that's why day coaching is really helpful. So, amberneal.com.
Matchmaker Hotline.
I am a matchmaker, not a magician, and you must be coachable. But, you know, at the end of the day, one of the things, too, is tolerating each other's differences between yourself, because one of the most frustrating relationships I've ever been in is they judge, and we all judge others how we see ourselves. So that's why we get shocked when people hurt us or betray us.
Yes.
But it's very frustrating if your partner has zero tolerance for the things that you're going through, but they want you to understand everything they're going through.
Oh.
It's one-sided.
Yeah, it's just like those people who all they ever want to do is complain to you, you know, tell you how crappy their day went, but they don't ask you. At the end, you'll sit there and listen, but they never ask you, how was your day?
Exactly.
Those are the same exact people. I used to have friends like that. Again, used to have friends like that. I cut people off like that now. Because I am a great listener. I'm a great friend. I'm a very loyal person.
Yes.
But if you can't give me the same, like, I'm not asking you, if I jump off a bridge, I'm not asking you to jump off the bridge with me. But what I'm asking is, if I lend you an ear, I expect you to lend me your ear. You know, sometimes I need to talk too. Sometimes I got a lot of things on my shoulders that I want to get off. So if this is a one-way street, then you got to go.
And make it normalize not when people not normalize not relating so much. Okay, sometimes people just want to freaking tell their story. Sometimes people just want a sympathetic ear. Don't make it about you. Oh, well, that's what happened to me. Oh, well, I understand how you. Just listen, and it's okay to sympathize, but a lot of times we think we're getting close to somebody by empathizing, and sometimes they don't give a damn. They're going through so much drama, they couldn't give a damn about what you're going through if they wanted to.
Yeah, exactly. You know, they just want, they literally just want you to know about their drama. That's it. You know, they want people to feel sorry for them. So people like that are toxic. I don't want anybody like that in my life anymore. I really don't, because that's
serious.
Just, toxic.
Well, guys, we are finished with that segment, so that was pretty good.
Yeah, right. For our first day back.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm kind of feeling it.
Right. I'm feeling it. I'm loving the new space.
I'm loving it.
You know, and what I love even more is the fact that since we have a different theme every day, we're gonna have a different set every day. So you guys get to see different things. You know, instead of just seeing the same old logo every day and the same old microphones every day.
Spice it up.
Exactly.
We're gonna spice it up.
And tomorrow, you know, we have Tough Love Tuesdays with Jason Uncut coming on, our celebrity gossip.
Yes. And we have one more topic for you guys.
We do. We got one more topic today, you know, and then, oh man, it's been such a long minute since we've had the show. I'm over here like, God, I forgot how thirsty I get during these things. I forget how it goes down. So let's go on. Let's move on to the next one. What do we got today? So the next Next topic is 5 things that kill modern relationships. No, I'm gonna choke her. You see how she does this? You see how she's so mean to me, but yet I love her so much. It's like I swear to God, she treats me the way my older sisters used to treat me all the time.
You might this fan, no, the other one.
Look at this.
Yeah.
I love this. Everybody, I want to give a big shout out to our intern, Uno Master. Yes, he's over here, helping us behind the scenes. Y'all know we love to give everybody our, give credit where credit's due. So, Miss Amber over here look, I'm telling you, one of these days.
Sponsored by Dr. Pepper.
I was like, one of these days we are going to get sponsored by Dr. Pepper. Anyway, so yeah, moving on to our next topic. We got 5 things that killed the modern relationship.
Let's give out our phone lines one more time.
281-624-5223. Y'all guys call in. Let us know. You can still, we can still talk about the last topic we had.
Yeah.
If you're calling in late, we can talk about right now. Or if you just got a question, you want to know what's going on. If you're having issues in your relationship, now mind you, we are not therapists, okay? But we are here to help you, and we are here to give you some insight, the insight that we have, the knowledge that we've learned. But again, we're not therapists, so we can't heal you. We're not magic makers. We're not magicians. None of that stuff. But
I am a date coach.
Exactly. So we are here to help you change your lifestyle, because that's exactly what it is. It's about changing your lifestyle.
Okay, well, just since I was mean, there you go, honey.
Oh, yay. Shout out to Dr. Pepper.
Shout out to Dr.
Thank
Pepper.
you. Hey, right? Oh, now I feel like I can carry on a conversation again. I was sitting here like, gosh, I hope Amber does all the talking today because I can't even talk anymore. I'm so.
And people are like, Amber, you should drink more water, and I'm like, there's water in Dr. Pepper. Okay. All right, guys. So let's jump into our next topic real quick. We have about 20 minutes left in the show. No, about 30 minutes left in the show. Plenty of time. If you have a question, you can call into our hotline. And the first person that calls into our hotline show, we're going to give you a 7-night resort giveaway courtesy of Marridate.com, Houston's first private social club, launching July 1st with up to 50 events. And we will also be launching globally by the fall with the virtual events, and that will go around the world. So now you can make friends everywhere. But if you are the first person to call into our brand new Virgin Hotline,
caller number
1, you win a 7-day resort getaway up to 3,500 locations for up to 4 people.
You know what? And what was that phone number again, Amber?
281-624-5223.
Just in case y'all didn't understand me the first 5 times I said it.
All right, guys, let's jump into it. 5 things that kill a modern relationship. Oof, I'm telling you. Before I even look at my notes, ego is the death of all relationships. Let me just say that first of all.
I want to say the death to all my relationships is coming for me.
Yeah.
Come for me so that way I can tell you there's the door.
He's still working on them 20-year-old temperamental. You know how to remember our 20. Because see, when you get to in your 40s like me, my saying when I get mad is, "Oh, you better be glad I'm not my 20s," but he still is. So we don't mess with him.
Sometimes I got to remind myself that I'm still in my 20s because I forget sometimes. So
I know.
I'm always like, and everybody else forgets too. They always, I don't look like it. I don't act like it. I have knowledge like I've been around for 50 years.
Yeah.
It's crazy. But sometimes
you got married young. That has a lot to do.
It really does. But sometimes when I think about it, I'm like, God, when I look at my parents, I really didn't get married young compared to my parents. My mom was pregnant at 15. They had my brother by the time she was.
Back in the day, that's what they did.
You know what I'm saying?
I had a friend's mom got pregnant at 13.
Right? And then I was going to say, my grandparents started when they were like 13. They had 18 kids.
The life expectancy was like 40. So
exactly. Nowadays, come on, we got people living to 100. I just saw on Instagram this morning, some old lady was living to 103. And I was like, woo. So anyway, number 1. They start for the wrong reason. How many times have we said this? If you start a relationship for the wrong reason, it's going to end bad. You start by cheating, it's going to end bad. If you start your common interests, if you start with bad common interests, like hating on people, dogging on people, it's going to probably end because of that exact reason.
At the end of the day, a relationship should add to your life. It should not be your life. That is codependency. If you find that you are that person that jumps relationship to back, boom, 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 the healthy person stays single for a while.
Yeah.
The broken one is immediately
in another relationship.
Immediately in a whole nother relationship. And I believe that if it was that quick, they probably was talking to him before.
I mean, come on. I told you that the last guy that I was like so into, after 3 years of dating, not even a week later, he's engaged to a new guy. And I'm just like, what am I missing here? When did you even meet this guy? How did you even know him? We've been together for 3 years. And I was like, because he had a backup plan.
Because we live in this microwave mentality culture. And this generation, the millennial generation, is we rush into everything so that we can have something for the gram, something for the Facebook, something to post, something to show.
Right.
It's like, this is the biggest, look at me, look how great I am. You got people, suicide is a very real thing. And our focus here at the show is mental health. Yes. But you have people literally killing themselves because they don't have the right Birkin or they don't have the right car. There are people literally out here paying top dollar to rent a Bentley to look like they got something going on. Who are you trying to impress?
Right. Who are you studying for?
And I give this like one of the websites I've got the domain name for. It's called Separated Singles, because if you start off a relationship on a lie, what do people do? As soon as y'all move out of the house, you're still legally married, but y'all don't come with that on there. Y'all come with, I'm single. And then you got to break it down and then tell somebody, well, I'm not single. I'm separated single. Because you already know, like I know as a matchmaker, 90% of my matchmaking clients are not going to date somebody separated. Because there's always a chance it could go back together. And there's a reason the state demands a waiting period before your divorce is final, because there's a good chance you will reconcile. So if you started off on the wrong reason, understand it's usually not going to work, but it's better for you to say separated and take the reality of it is than you to come back and start it off on a lie and go, well, I got to, I know I told you, but dude, I'm telling you, if you said that to me, oh, I'm not, I would question everything you told me.
You just run the opposite direction.
I would totally run.
I was like, you don't even entertain that. You're like, as soon as you say that there's somebody else in the picture, just possibly even in the picture, you go the opposite way, And I mean, I'm pretty much the same way. And it's crazy. So you know what? Somewhat on this topic, how do you feel about when people are dating and talking to multiple people?
I think that's called dating.
Right? I agree too. But a lot of people in this society now believe that that's a form of cheating. And I'm like, but you're not in a relationship. I thought the point of dating was to talk to multiple people and find out who you are compatible with the best.
It's 100%. That is dating.
Thank you.
When you become, so the next level is dating exclusively.
Right? Because
that
it's
means
just...
you're not committed yet. You're still not committed.
Exactly. You're still single.
You're exclusively only dating that one person. So unless you say exclusively dating, you're dating to see if something can become exclusive, that can become a relationship, that can become marriage.
Exactly,
There's an order to it.
I agree, because most people skip those orders. They don't even,
That's codependent.
Exactly. They usually just jump straight in and go.
I get a U-Haul on the second date.
Yeah, we went on a date last night, and now we're boyfriend, girlfriend, boyfriends, girlfriends, whatever. Now we're in a relationship, and I used to be one of those people, and I've learned to slow down. But people. I've gotten people who got mad at me because I'm sitting here like, we're dating, but I am talking to multiple people because I'm dating. I'm not in a relationship.
Let me help you with this. If you would just establish your relationship goals from the beginning, when you meet somebody, you ask them that one question: what's your relationship goal? And don't let them wiggle out of this, right? If they say, I don't know, then only keep it in a casual zone. In your mind, do yourself a favor. Do not wish or build a boo or hope it'll come to that. If you're literally, unless they tell you my marriage goal, and it don't mean today, don't get excited, but my marriage goal is to get married. Or my relationship goal is to have a travel buddy. Or to have a companionship. It doesn't have to necessarily believe in a papered marriage. It could be a companion for the rest of your life. Yeah, like Goldie Hawn and what's his face.
I mean,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because my thing is, I honestly, I'm not saying that I'm against marriage or I won't ever get married again, but my whole thing is, to me, marriage is just a piece of paper. What real love is love. I don't need a piece of paper to tell me that I'm in love with somebody or that I want to spend the rest of my life with somebody.
You just got the doctor a little easier if you're on their insurance. Okay.
Exactly. But, so that's why I just feel like a lot of people run from relationships because when somebody says marriage, they automatically assume like, oh, I have to go to do this big ceremony and get this. You don't. I mean, my parents have been together my whole life and then some. And they've never, ever been legally married. Wow. They're only common law married.
Interesting.
But
who cares?
They've been together. Exactly. Who gives a
sometimes people don't even have a title, act more married than people that do.
Right? I mean, seriously. I know more married people that act single more than my single friends do. And it's sad. And that's, to me, that's why, I've always said, like, to me, I mean, it may say I don't want to get married anymore, but it's just because I don't want the paper anymore. Because to me, it's just a piece of paper.
What you're saying is I don't want the divorce. That's
exactly.
what you're really saying.
Yeah, I don't want the divorce.
That's why we got to get to our truth. We got to get to really careful with every word we say because we can accidentally say something to our mind that we don't even mean it like that. We know consciously.
Yeah.
But subconsciously, like, oh, you don't want to get married? Okay, well, guess what? We'll be single. But before you start a relationship for the wrong reason, just understand that you can have everything. God will give you the desires of your heart. If you just have patience and you build yourself, create security, and understand that your emotions and heal from your history.
Right. And that part right there, you have to heal. You have to be a healed person in order to date a healed person. Okay? So if you're not healed yet, don't even try to date. You have to be a healed person.
That's right.
That's why we always say, like, therapy. Number one thing, therapy.
Do we need a battery? Do we need to run a power?
No, we're still good.
Okay. And the next one is we prioritize the wrong thing. Your first priority should be you. Put your air mask. And don't they tell you in the plane, put your mask on first?
Moms, dads, always put your mask on before you put the kids' mask on, like.
But your priority should be you. Your ambitions, your career, your future. You can't find happiness and security in things that can change.
Just because there's a we doesn't mean that there's still not a you. You were both independent people before you got together, so there's no reason to lose yourself.
There's a reason God didn't glue people together.
Exactly,
okay? You're still an individual, and you need autonomy. You need time alone. I don't care how much, especially couples that work and play together.
Yeah.
You need time alone. It is not healthy. It is not normal to always be together. And if you can't trust your spouse out of your sight, then you need a new spouse.
Yeah.
Or you need to go heal. Maybe they're not even doing anything wrong. But I know a lot of guys have this mentality, and girls nowadays are like this too. If I'm going to get accused of it,
I might as well do it. Yeah.
So be careful because you may have somebody totally loyal to you, but you keep accusing them, you keep pushing them. Not that it's right.
Yeah.
But if they're going to get accused of it,
they might as well do it. I mean, instead of accusing, have a conversation. Communicate. That's why we say one of the biggest things that in relationships is communication. People won't communicate. Yeah. They're too afraid to say how they really feel. If you feel like, hey, I'm not saying that you are cheating on me, but I feel like you could possibly be cheating on me. Right. Comfort me. Tell me you're not cheating.
Get into couples counseling.
Exactly.
Jesus, get a mediator.
Like this is why therapy is $1 million industry because people need people to talk to. You need to be able to talk about it, and if you can't talk to your spouse about it, who the hell can you talk to about it?
I'm telling you guys, and that's one of the things I can tell you with Marridate, the private social club launching. Our focus is on mental health. We'll let you go to 10 events before you have to join our club, but after that 10th event, you must go through screening with a therapist for a 1-hour screening to determine are you happy, working on it, or hate each other. Because once we determine you're not really happy together, we're not going to let you go to our events because we want to make sure it's couples that are truly committed to making their marriage last. So all money isn't good money. So if you're a couple that's totally miserable, and we'll give you a roadmap to heal your marriage, we will tell you how to cure your divorce potential. And if you take our advice, we have giveaways for all kinds of travel giveaways as incentives. If you take that's how serious we are about curing the divorce rate through mental health. If you take our advice, you'll get rewarded, and in multiple ways. Not only free travel, you actually get to keep your marriage. Yeah,
exactly. You won't be a statistic saying we got divorced. Mm-hmm. You're going to be the other side of the stats and say no, we aren't going to be divorced. We are going to make this marriage work.
That's right.
So. And I mean, come on.
Can't just be one person.
You know, and not only that, but being part of the social club where you get to do 50 different events every month, you know, it keeps your relationship that much more alive. It keeps the spark going.
Yeah.
The fun's still there. A lot of
It's the
relationships, exactly. A lot of relationships die because the fun dies. Because they get too used to their routines and they don't want to try anything else anymore, you know? Same thing with sex. If your partner wants to try something, try it because it keeps that relationship alive. Like they say, if you're not willing to do it, there's somebody else that's willing
Unless
to do
it's a third person.
And
then that's another whole subject. I've said this from jump. I'm talking, we're focusing on monogamy and Marridate, but here's the thing: it's not about judging the people that don't. It's about that's our focus,
exactly,
and it is about proving that people do want monogamy.
Yes.
I think a lot of these things have manifested just out of boredom. People don't know how to keep it spicy.
Exactly. I mean, I've had so many relationships that I've ended because I'm like, I'm bored. And I can say it a million times that I'm bored, but they won't do nothing. They're like, okay, let's go to the movies. And I'm like, oh, so we switched the movie on the couch to the movie in the theater. Because that's so exciting, right? Like, let's go on a hike. Let's go outside and do something that we've never done before that neither one of us.
Get your bucket list out, guys.
Yeah, exactly. You know,
how many things do you want to do before you die? Because as we see with the pandemic, I always says between the things in your body that can kill you, the people in the world that want to kill you, and all the crap that's going on around the world, you better live for today.
Yes.
You better get your bucket list out. What have you always wanted to do? Have those first experiences. Choose some things that they want to do. Try some things that it's kind of like you said back to. Your type might be what's keeping you single.
Yes.
But also not being open-minded and adventurous. Because if you're with somebody like me, I am super adventurous. I love to travel.
Same.
And if you're a couch person, I mean, I like my couch every now and then. But for the most part, it's in a different country or it's in a different city. I don't like to be on my personal couch.
Yeah, you know, like I like to get, I mean, this world is so big. And to tell you the truth, I've only left Texas like twice, 3 times. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if you count the many trips that I went to Oklahoma, but come on, that's literally Oklahoma. I haven't left the United States. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's so much to do in this world. Why should I have to spend every waking moment on the couch? Let's try some new food.
Yeah,
let's learn how to dance, you know?
Let's learn how to ride a mechanical bull.
Let's zip line, okay?
Ooh, I love zip
Oh my gosh, like,
oh my God.
you know there's one here in Houston?
Yes. Parasailing. I mean, okay, we're getting off.
We are. But anyway, point being is,
go to Marridate.com for more information.
Yes, exactly. Keep your relationship alive. That's all we're asking. You know, like, keep the fun going.
The grass is green where you water it.
Oh, you know, something you can do that it really, when we were sitting in our meeting the other day and this happened, my heart just melted.
Huh.
So Sugar went and we were in the middle of a meeting and Sugar came to pick up Shamir, but our meeting was running a little late, so he decided he was going to just take off. Didn't say nothing. He took off, comes back out of nowhere without saying nothing. Mm-hmm. Didn't say nothing when he walked in, and just laid a dozen pink roses in front of her and walked out. Stuff like that. That's a man that supports. You know what I'm saying? Yes, and that just thinking about it now, like that melts my heart. I almost have to, because it's just. I mean, it's just the thought. Deep down, hopeless romantic. I mean, I really am. I really am. And
I think that's probably been the best thing that I've seen you evolve in this 6 months. That you're getting into your truth. You're actually speaking your truth, and you're no longer letting your fear words come out.
Yeah, this is true, which is why I said within the past 6 months, I've learned so much from you. You know, and that's why I say, guys, I'm a testament of how it works. If you go and watch the show from the beginning when I first started to now, you're going to see the different knowledge that I've gained and that I've learned that I share with y'all. That, you know, it's amazing how much has changed, how much I have learned, and how much I was hiding behind fear a lot. And I didn't even know it. I really didn't know it. And,
you know, I think this next tip of, you know, 5 things that kill modern relationships, I think this next one you should talk about because you are a millennial, you're in this generation, and what's lacking is the substance.
Oh, man. So, you know, number 3, we're too superficial. As a millennial, I mean, I don't exactly fall into that group, but I can't say this is true. You know, this generation is full of beautiful, hopeless romantics who spend all of their time on their appearance and not enough time on their mind. And I mean, I can honestly say every millennial I've ever met, because I'm not a material person, as you see, I'm not a material person, but I've met so many people who won't even talk to me because I'm not that material person, because I don't drive a BMW, because I don't have name brand. Exactly,
Yeah.
you know? And I think it makes me sick, because I'm like, why do I gotta have material stuff if I'm happy? Money doesn't buy happiness. Materials don't give you happiness. So, you know, remember, being physically attractive is a great way to get attention. It really is a great way to get attention. But it's not the great way to find love, you know? But being mentally attractive is the only way to keep it. Okay, you will get what you offer. So offer substance. You know, like being shallow and just worrying about a body, it's not going to find you love.
And that's it. I'm sure just like you've been emotionally unavailable and you think they're the runner when it's you, a lot of times you're the fake one. And a real one, real recognizes real. Okay, don't ever forget that. Real recognizes real.
Real does recognize real. And
So,
fake recognizes fake too.
Fake recognizes fake. And I'm like Kanye, y'all lucky I showed up to this fake. Okay. Number 4, today we're talking about 5 relationship killers for the modern relationship. Number 4, we ignore too many red flags. We even did a show about this, about the pink flags.
Yes.
Because when you refuse to accept an uncomfortable truth, you're choosing to accept an uncomfortable future. Unaddressed issues that could have been taken just a few days to fix can hurt a relationship for years. And if you want a long-term success in a relationship, you have to get better at accepting and addressing uncomfortable truths as fast as possible. As they say, whatever you know in the beginning will be what cost you the relationship in the end.
Oh, you know, and I say it all the time too. Like, if it can go and happen right now, it's a little thing that happens momentarily, the small little things that happen every day that annoy you. Those are the small little things that break your relationship, because those small little things that you ignore every day ends up building up into one big thing. Just like they say about bottling up your emotions. You know, that little thing every day. And it's always the smallest thing that you go and blow up on.
It could be the craziest
and
thing.
It has absolutely, it's nothing like the fact that somebody ran out of Dr. Pepper. could be the thing to set you off. And that's not what you're mad about. You know, that's it, because it's all the small little things that kept going on throughout the day that made you blow up. It's the same thing in a relationship. It's every day. Every day I got to ask him to pick his shoes up out of the middle of the floor. Every day I got to ask him to take out the trash. Those are the things right there that one day, you know, you could be having a great day and all of a sudden, like, oh, babe, I forgot my wallet at home. You moron! And you're going to blow up out of nowhere, you know, because so if it can happen right then and there, you know, like those little things, you have to address them, fix them, or leave. Because if you don't address it and they don't fix it, it's going to happen. If you address it and they don't fix it, it's still going to happen. We
said our saying today. People do what they want to do.
And
people do what you let them.
Yes, I was getting there. I was about to say it. I was like, but wait, yeah, y'all know me. I got that ADD too, and it goes all over the place. So
people do what you want. People do what they want to do. People do what you let them. So I'm gonna leave this, and we're gonna get to the last tip here before we get out of here. But you know, if people do what they want to do, people do what you let them. If they wanted to call, they would. If they wanted to show up, they would. And that's honestly probably the biggest thing personally that I had to really come to grips with as someone who used to be codependent, from having abandonment issues, from the things I've been through with my parents' 3 divorces. I had to overcome codependency. That was me. That's what I had to overcome. And I would allow and accept behaviors that it makes you feel worse. It really does. It makes you feel worse when you tolerate things that you know is not God's best for you. And if you're wondering if you're in the right relationship or not, you literally ask yourself, is this God's best for me? And if you can't 100% look in the mirror and know that that's your truth, you're lying to yourself. Being in denial will cause you to miss your whole destiny.
Yes, it will. I completely agree with that right there. Because if you're in denial, then how do you know what's real?
Exactly.
You don't. So it's going to make you.
And lastly but not least, I like this one for DJ Houston because, again, back to the millennial, this, you know, I think what's grosser than this is people in our age group trying to do the millennial stuff. Like, okay, some of it's cute, but some of it, no, you're wrong, okay?
Oh. The funny thing is how you sit here and say this is millennials, and I'm like, no, this is Generation X. Okay, these are the kids that are underneath me that are real bad about this.
I'm Generation X.
Oh no, so Z, Generation Z. It's Z. Those don't even get me started with Z.
Don't get me started on Z, but actually Z does have a new dating trend. The new dating trend for Generation Z is FaceTime dates. Because of COVID, kind of got us in the house for a while. Now it's kind of become a normal energy to go check somebody out on a FaceTime date before you waste money.
Yeah, so so this next one, so false Instagram expectations. Social media makes everyone else's relationships look perfect. So now imperfect, real relationships feel disposable. Mm-hmm. So true. Expecting perfection from a relationship is the fastest way to find unhappiness because we are all human. Both sides of the relationship are human beings. We do mess up. We're not perfect. So instead of false social media perfection, search for fulfillment, substance, realness, friendship, and of course, mature communication.
If you're in that name calling stage, you're not ready for real communication.
At all. If as soon as you get mad at me, you can call me a B, then I can get rid of you just as fast. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not real. It's that fakeness, and I don't have time for that. You don't have time for that. Like, I'm looking for something real. I like real relationships. I want somebody who's honest and who's ready to spit. Somebody who's ready to build me up. Be my hype man. I know that's what I want. I don't want this Instagram stuff.
It's called fake book for a reason. So just remember, before you just buy into somebody else's life is perfect, just realize most people do stuff for the gram. I've seen so many ways the fake pictures, you know what I mean? It's like there's no furniture in the room, but there's a pair of shoes, and it's like, okay, look at these $500 pair of shoes. Prioritize those things, guys. But tomorrow we are going to be back for Tough Love Tuesdays.
Woo!
With Jason Uncut. We've got some really good topics coming up. The phone lines will be open, and we stand by it. We haven't got any calls yet, but this is our inaugural show, so I'm not surprised.
Listen, you got about 5 minutes
You got 5 minutes
to
left
be
in the
caller
show.
number 1
Yes.
to win that 7-day resort
7-day
package.
giveaway, 3,500 locations to choose from, including up to 4 people. 281-624-5223 is our Matchmaker Hotline phone number.
Give me a second. I gotta go make a phone call.
I know, right? And we want to leave y'all with a little fun psychology fact. Did you know that the best way of detecting a lie is to listen rather than to look? Liars say less, give fewer details, and use the word I less than people telling the truth. Fun psychology facts today.
Yes.
I always love those things. And I'm going to leave you guys with this last, it is Meme Monday as well. So the meme of the day says,
train yourself to take nothing personally.
That's right. That's it. Observe it, not absorb it. All right, guys, we'll be back. For more information, go to amberneal.com. Go to Boss Up Houston Network. If you have a show idea, you want to meet with Jacob and I. Well, DJ Houston, but VP Jacob, so what. But if you want to meet with DJ Houston and I about show development, hit us up. We just greenlighted 5 new shows last week. We've got 4 in development. We're super excited. Boss Up Houston Network is the talk of the town right now, probably because Shamir and Suge just got engaged off the Sexy Single Sofa. But no, I'm kidding. But Boss Up Houston Network, I'm telling you, that's where it's at. And we are going to take the scam of helping you produce a show, showing you how to prove concept at a fraction of the cost. Yes, it's not free. Yes, you got to invest in yourself just like we do. But we're not here to play the game and the scam of the big industry. So, wow, we got a lot going. That was a great first show.
It really was. It feels great to be back. Besides the fact that I had to take a little break for my Dr. Pepper, you know what I'm saying? It feels great to be back, though. I'm so glad. I can't wait to get fully back with the rest of the cast. You know what I'm saying? Like, yes. I miss my co-hosts as well. Yeah. Like, I can't wait till tomorrow to see Jason. It's been a hot minute.
We forgot about Friday. F&N Friday, man. At the last place we were at, F&N Friday had the highest ratings of the whole station. So shout out to Juice and Ryan because they'll be back on Friday for F&N Friday. And I know we're going to be providing great content for that as well. So for more information, go to Marridate.com, Marridate, Houston's first private social club just for couples. We've got some events on there. Shout out to Carlos at F45, Forest location.
Yes.
Man, we went out there this weekend and filmed, and
We
I forgot
did.
to edit that, so we gotta get off.
We got some new promos coming out, so y'all guys check it out. Make sure you go follow us on social media. You know, DJ Houston 2 across all platforms, The Amber Neal across pretty much all platforms. Yes. Don't forget to be friends with the show too. Go follow us. Follow the Amber Neal Show. We're gonna be posting. This video will be up shortly later on. But yeah, follow us. Make sure y'all guys tune in tomorrow, same place, same time, 2 to 4 for Tough Love Tuesdays with Jason Uncut.
Yes.
Of course, the Amber Neal.
AmberNeal.com. That's it.
All right.
And whoever hooks us up on the first show, you got a trip. We're ready for y'all. See y'all tomorrow.
See y'all tomorrow.